Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest is Greg Brown, head basketball coach at Volcano Vista, and also the 2023 state championship, and also back-to-back state championships. And congratulations!
Thanks, Steve.
I
Appreciate
tell
it.
you, I know it's been emotional the last couple of
Mhm.
weeks. You know, playing against your brother. We'll get to that a little bit later. But thanks for coming in. I know it's spring break
Thanks for having me.
and
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
coming in here, but. Let's just talk. You know, let's just go back last year a little bit. You know, you win the state championship, and then what's your goals? I mean, what was your thought? Is it win the district, or what? You know, just what was going through your mind after that?
So a new team with some returning pieces. We had our two bigs coming back with Kenyon and Sean, and those are really the only two that got a lot of playing time on that undefeated team in 2022. But our whole mindset was like, there's a new goal out there for us, a new trophy for us to go try to fight for. We're not defending anything. We're trying to go get something new. And understanding that we had a different team and a new team. And we wanted to still carry over some of the things that 2022 brought. And so the year we had this past year was a special year. But we did grow and learn a lot from our 2022 team with some unbelievable seniors who are all doing well. They're all in college now, and
Yeah,
they're all
playing for
Jaquan, haven't had a good year, got some good playing time, and Caden Valdez is out in Colorado in the Colorado School of the Mines, and he's just focusing on his academics, and then of course Tyler Martinez is at NIMI, had a great year, and Kieran Cordova's at University of New Mexico, and he's involved in some track. And Oscar McCoy is around. He was one of our scouts.
His dad's still around too.
Sam's around. Sam's always around. He came to our games, and Oscar was able to come to some of our practices. And having him around the program was great for us. And then Jaden Malone is he's at New Mexico Highlands as well, and redshirted this year, and so I think he has a bright future. So miss those guys.
Well, that's what makes the program. That's why you coach, because you got great kids, and you got to be mentors of them, and you don't forget them. You keep them in the back of your mind.
Yeah, David Cormier came to our practice in our game, and one of our games. He had a little break from the Air Force. Now he's off to. He's going to fly. He had a chance to play in the NFL, could go in as a free agent. He didn't think he was going to get drafted. Still a possibility, but he's actually on his way to Enid, Oklahoma. He is going to do the whole flight school thing, and so he's excited about his next chapter. But, yeah, a lot of those guys, Jelante Gray, see him at church all the time, and he was able – it's fun to see those guys at the state tournament, especially after we win. They come on the floor and they – get in our pictures and hug us. So I'm extremely blessed, definitely.
Well, you look back, and last year was exciting, and it's not your only state championship, but they're all special to you. I mean, you have different things that happen during the year, and to see it all come together at the end of the year is always exciting.
It's awesome. Yeah, definitely. The 2022 team, that was a blur, just because it was my first year trying to coach without my dad around, and it was just trying to realize, okay, what's real, what's, just the whole, you go through grieving and stuff like that, and I don't know how well I coached that year, but I don't think I had to, just because our seniors were so special, and I have such an amazing staff with Cesar Cuevas and Josh Miller's helped, Barry Bates and Frank Smith, and we've had these guys in our, they've done so much for us. Got some help from David Quixote, who's a former Lobo, and then this past year it was more of where, I got to coach my son and these guys coming up, and Kenyon and a kid named Ryan Gonzalez, who we've known forever, and so it was a special year in a different way.
Well, you have to regroup, and the thing, and I talked to Coach. Now I'm actually fast forwarding where I want to go, but I just remember talking with Coach Smith, and
Yeah.
And it was after your loss at Cleveland, and I, got that week, that 2 weeks was really tough on you because you had a bunch of injuries and
Definitely.
your son was hurt. I mean,
Yep.
you're like, and you're still trying to win, but he just said, the pressure's off. I mean, and let's just go back. The year before you went undefeated, okay?
Yeah.
And your girls' team went undefeated. So what a great, you can't, what a miracle year for Volcano Vista.
Yeah.
Well, and it didn't dawn on me because I just, this is a compliment to you and your program and your staff, is that I just expect y'all to win. Okay, I mean, it's an upset if anybody beats you. I mean, that's where you built your program, and it's just a great thing to have. And I remember we were on the court, and it just hit me on the head. I go, that's what, because you were really, I'll tell you what, you were very concentrated on your coaching, very concerned.
Yep.
Because most of the time I can talk to you a little bit, but you were really like, hey,
tough.
Steve, I remember you telling me, Steve, this is tougher than you think. There's a lot more going on than I can explain right now. And those 3 weeks, it was, you lost that game, but every game for the next 3 weeks was like a
district
2 to 4 6-point game every time you went out.
When we were going into district this year, we weren't at our best. We were banged up. We had this thing where we just kept getting this attention about this record, about being undefeated, and you're closer to Hobbs, and you have this many games, and we just kept trying to focus on where we are right now, not where we need to be or where we're going to be. Where are we right now? But it was hard for our guys. We weren't playing our best. We definitely were banged up. I was stressed because I knew district was right around the corner, and typically what we wanted was to be going into district healthy and fresh.
Like you've done in the past when you won, you're starting to get momentum. Playing your best basketball.
And we didn't have it at that time. So going into that Cleveland game, they rescheduled the game because there was an official shortage, and it kind of, there's no excuses because Cleveland, they're a top 4 team. We knew them. We knew how tough that game was going to be.
Plus it's a rivalry.
It's rivalry.
It doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
All your teams, Trisco Heritage, and Rio Rancho, it doesn't. Cibola, you got to give your best.
We have to. And then I remember, the first half we played fine, but they were missing shots. And then the second half, we were missing shots, and they started converting and got energy. And Cleveland's a different animal because they have just a culture about them where they expect to win, and they had, some of the football guys with them who have that attitude, and then they have those dynamic scorers with Daniel and Remy, and Coach Jimenez has done it before. So I knew that was going to be a tough game. When we lost that game, our locker room was devastating. They felt like they had let people down, and
themselves down
and they wanted to win, have this streak for the 2022 guys, but it was a relief. We needed to turn the page.
Maybe it was a blessing. I look back because I didn't snap, until after. I was just thinking, you're just winning. I didn't. I wasn't. I think you and I, when you did the Rio Rancho game, and Wally's reading off your, he had more stats. Like you didn't even know the stats. He's reading off. You won 78 games. You lost and you're averaging this amount of points. And you're giving up this amount.
Leave
of
it to Wally to know that stuff. And that was our next game.
Right, that was the next game.
And we were, we went into that game.
That's when I talked to Coach Smith. I was talking to him, and I was just like, right then, I felt for you because I didn't, because I'm telling you, I've seen you coach for almost 18, 20 years now. This is we go back a few years, and I'm like, I was trying to tell you, Greg, relax. You've lost one game. You're good thing. And I remember saying, I said, hey, Greg, and you didn't. I said, hey, man, good things are going to happen.
I remember you saying that. I thought another streak was getting ready to happen because we're at Rio Rancho now.
Right?
Yeah, we're going to start this. Yeah, and because Hudson had just dislocated his shoulder. Kenyon didn't practice the whole week because he had a banged up knee. Sean just got out of concussion protocol, Big Sean. So we had, you know, to go to our second group, who good, you know, they're ready to go as well. But when the pieces were all over the place, and I was like, and we're at Rio Rancho, and I remember the first half, it was, you know, what, 14-13 or something like that.
Well, you only scored 6 free throws in the first quarter.
We could only
you
score.
were only down like 2 points or so. But I'm just saying, you were like, and then of course, you know, Guina, because everybody's calling me, go, well, how do they keep it? And I said, well, Guina was on the bench.
That's foul trouble. Yep.
That's one reason. He played only like 3 or 4 minutes in the first quarter, and he sat out, and then. And y'all, I don't know if I think it was 14-12 at halftime. And then in the second half, you just kind of do what you've done all year. You know, your defense has wore teams down. And I know earlier in the year I kept telling you how good, or I was talking about how good your defense. And you're always
I didn't believe you.
You didn't believe me.
It's because like Shane Dumas Sanchez had 30 on us in the first half, and I was like, hey, you missed this game, Steve. You know, where we had to.
Yeah, but he's done that with other people too. So.
Yeah. Eventually, we knew our defense was going to. It had to be because of the district we're in, and we knew that our defense was going to have to be the thing, because our offensively, we're very inconsistent. We had to grind. We had to run a lot of set plays. We had 2 bigs, so sometimes that's hard for the offense to flow. The year before, we had 1 big, and it was nice. Well. We had 2 of them, but they rotated for each other. This time we had them both on the floor. And Kenyon is a guard, but Kenyon's at his best when he's on a low block. And that's where Sean was. And so how do we keep them on opposite sides of the floor? And how do we keep our offense to have some flow? At the end of the day, it was about our defense. And then could we hit key shots at key moments? And for the most part, our guards stepped up. Anthony Gonzalez in the state championship game, Devin Ramos. HUD had some big games where he had to hit some big shots for us. We had some guys coming off the bench. Ryan Gonzalez was a big player for us in district as well.
We're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week, come back, talk about your championship week.
Yes, sir.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
Almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hello, my name is Staff Sergeant Kevin Stanger. I wanted to let you know that when you join a team like the New Mexico Army National Guard, you will always have teammates to give you support. You will have the chance to serve your country and community, all while earning some amazing benefits. Benefits such as tuition assistance, world-class job training, and getting paid while attending college. So don't miss your shot at an amazing future.
Hey, welcome back, Steve Davis Show. We got Greg Brown, state championship 2023 and also 2022, and it's just a great honor for me here to be able to sit here and talk about your last 2 years, and but this year, I mean, you win your district, go in the state tournament, heavy favorites to win everything. How do you handle that?
Yeah.
Because everybody, you did lose your.
Yeah.
Hey, when you lose a game, I think everybody says, I think I get this from Mike Danoff, and he always said, you're only as good as your last game. When you lose a game, you can forget what you done. What you do after that loss is if you're a good team or not.
Yeah, and so the thing is that we lose a lot in practice. Like our practice was set up to where, and we always say iron sharpens iron, so this is our iron sharpening day, we would say. And I'd put Kenyon and Sean against each other, and we would go 3-on-3, and Hudson would have to go against Anthony. And so Anthony, Hudson, they knew what it felt like to come up short in practice and how they had to rebound from those situations. And so we felt things didn't change much after that Cleveland loss. I mean, we just kept on besides the injuries we had to deal with, but our attitude was where we just kept plugging through and plugging along, and that's how this year was for us. Like
nothing was easy for you.
Nothing. This was the previous year. We only had a close game early against La Cueva when Jaquan hit that game winner, and then of course the state championship game that went into overtime. Everything in between that was, a lot of blowout wins for us. This year is the opposite. I mean, we were in tons of close games.
We were grind.
We had to grind out wins and games and had to get a stop, had to hit free throws, and there's a handful of them. We were comfortable in those closer games with this team. They kind of dug in and they felt comfortable in those uncomfortable moments.
Well, I'll tell you, you get. We're not gonna have enough time to really.
Yeah.
You beat Atrisco Heritage, another district team, tough already. Hey, face it, you guys got one of the best coaching staffs in your district.
Yes.
In the state. I mean,
Yeah.
they're prepared, and they have players. It's not just.
Steve's been there before, and he you can tell he has a composure about him, and we would throw some different things at some of his guys, and he always had a counter. He always knew what to do with Tay to get him looks, and they had a tough year too. Atrisco to me was top 3 the entire year, but they had injuries with Chris Pata, but yeah, to get them in the first round of state or the semifinals of state, whenever it was.
They shoot well.
Yeah.
And peak. I mean, if you look at the historical.
Exactly.
You're
We knew that. Yeah, that was going to be a tough game for us. Yeah.
You get through it.
Yeah.
And then we got highlights on this next game with Oregon Mountain, and it was a team I knew nothing about. And once he gets it going, we'll kind of talk over it. Here we go. And this is, look at that score. You're down 46-45. And I want to say there's a minute left in the game. So, 1 minute, and Dylan. Oregon Mountain, they don't have no timeouts. You're down 1 point. And kind of tell me what your thought process was at this time.
So we knew, a minute left. We knew that, these possessions were very, very valuable, and we had to get the ball where it needed to go. And a lot of times it's going to be through Kenyon. Here, Hudson gets fouled, and, he's ready to hit these free throws. He's hit many of these, in these big moments leading up to this. And it's just one of those basketball things, in and out, and then it rolls around the rim.
And see, at that point, I thought, go ahead. I'll come back to that.
And now we got to get this ball back. We're under a minute, and we either got to foul them and they call a timeout. So Rocky, Oregon Mountain's coach, he very underrated. He is, people don't know much about him.
I learned a lot about him.
He's hard-nosed, defensive-minded guy. And you can see how his team was, and so now we've got to figure out a way to get this ball back. And so we put Kenyon as a flagger, just a big flagger, and then we're just scrambling. This is just like, what can we do here to get this ball back? So the guys that are defending in the back court, they're in a switch or a stay. Usually they're trying to stay on their guy, but if they get hit and they call a switch, then we got to react to that switch right away. And David and Hudson got a trap on this ball, and it looked like we got an offensive foul called. So now it's our ball again. And Cuevas, coach.
39 seconds left.
That's right. Still down 1. Coach Cesar Cuevas calls our out-of-bounds plays. And so a lot of times it's going to go to Kenyon. It just is what it is. And we do have these other really good players. So Anthony here, looks like we can't get the ball in, goes to Ant. And now we're trying to go inside to Kenyon. And they're just so defensively solid. Ant for a big 3. We'll take that any day. Thank goodness Sean got his hand on that second chance. That call could have gone to Oregon Mountain. But we get the call there. And now this play is for Hudson and Kenyon to have this side cleared for each other. Hudson comes off the screen, gets downhill, and short arms it.
Now, I thought, with that, the mental stability right there was going to, you've had all these good looks.
Right. Feels bad, yeah.
Any other night, those shots go down, and it's a difference in this game. And
20 seconds left. Yeah, Steven, it's easy to worry about the last play, but this is how our guys are. They're going to really focus on get another steal. That's Sean. And now I didn't know that. I thought they fouled us. And I never thought they had their hands on the ball. If I would have known, yes, we should have called a timeout there. And so
ball went back to them.
I'm proud of our guys at this time because they're not giving up. Things aren't going our way.
Right. No, that's,
free throws, shots and now we get another steal. And David Gutierrez, who is one of our really athletic, defensive-minded guys, hasn't been playing a lot in this game, comes off of the bench, gets a huge steal, and now just like, Hud's situation, he's at this free throw line, and he's looking into our student body, and we're down 1, and you're like, how's that free throw not go in? In and out, and he makes the second one, now we're tied. And so, are we tied? I guess we're tied. Are we? Yeah, we're tied, right?
We're
yeah.
tied right now.
Anthony Gonzalez reads. And now watch Kenyon here.
Watch this ball go out, and they don't have the ball. I don't know.
Kenyon's flagging the ball all over the place. Now Hud does a nice job here of defending without fouling. That shot looked like it was good from my angle, and somehow it wasn't. And unbelievable comeback, against a team that was, just out. We played them earlier in the year, and it was at our place, and we had a win, and it was uncomfortable. They made us uncomfortable, but we won by like 16 or something. And maybe that was in our mind coming in, but this is a different team that we played with.
Let's jump to that.
Yeah.
We're going around. Let's jump to that.
Yes, sir.
Jump to that state championship game against your brother, a guy that came off a victory himself.
Nice spin into the lane. On the Euro step off the window for Andrew.
And this is another game, I can speak, is that your defense took over in the second half.
I'm glad it did, because our offense was invisible for, the first half, at least.
Well, you got to take that to your brother a little
yeah,
bit. I think you were well scouted, okay?
That's right. This is the fourth time we played each other, and, this is, we respect this team a ton and know them very well. But this was one of those games where our seniors kind of dug their feet in, especially defensively. There's Devin Ramos with an amazing shot. Kenyon really developed this kind of floater pull-up game that, man, it was nice to have.
Well, that first half, we're looking at the highlights that Sam did, and then you just still grinded it out in that first half.
Huge three by Ryan. I mean, every bucket was huge for us. Eli doing those things, we knew that he would. This was probably the shot of the game. Anthony hits a three, and here we always go to our guy. This is the big guy. This is our guy that, Gatorade Player of the Year for a reason, special talent.
And before I forget.
Great job, Sean.
Two baskets. 2 for 24, I believe Sandia was in the second half.
Were they? And to do that to Sandia, is just unbelievable for our defense. We just, we knew how explosive, especially Drew and Dalen, and, tons of respect to Eli. And, man, what their leader is Mari too, and what a great game for us.
Hey, Greg, we're going to have to come to an end. Hey,
yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
For coming on the Steve Davis
Appreciate
show.
You, Steve.
And guess three-peat, no more pressure.
No.
You think you have pressure this year, you're going to have three-peat for next year. So.
You said it, not me.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.